Now, if you're stuck at 500 NL or lower, I'm going to go over 3 tips that are going to help you become top tier. And for those of you watching for the first time, I always give a little background on myself. And basically, I've been playing for the last 2 decades. I hop on about 4 times a week playing mid stakes. I don't have one type of strategy like GTO, ABC, or whatever. I really focus on 2 things. The first is making good decisions because at the end of the day, we do have control over that. And the second thing is I try and use strategies against my opponents and exploit them as much as possible. Meaning, I'm going to bluff without hesitating if I think somebody is weak. And after playing so many hands, you just pick up on little things a lot quicker. Of course, as I'm getting into this, I also want to let you guys know we have an awesome community in the pinned comments section where you could talk to me one-on-one as well as with some of their high-level members. And like I said, if you're stuck or hitting a wall at your current stake, I would definitely recommend getting in there. Also, if you could tap the like, and let's get right into this. This is also going to run for close to 20 minutes, so grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, or some coffee, and let's lock in. All right, first thing here is you got to start playing the man, not the cards. Now, the thing is, guys, people are better. That should be obvious. And if you're just sitting back, waiting for hands, playing GTO, playing ABC, it's just not going to work. So after you're sitting down for I would say maybe 25 to 40 minutes, you start to pick up on how people are playing at your table, and that's when you want to adjust, okay? So that's when you want to make bluffs and make plays on opponents. And you don't have to have good cards all the time, and you're going to see that because I'm going to make some bluffs, playing against some decent players in this that I would say are really just all mid-stake. All right, and the second thing you want to do is bluff if you sense weakness or you're blocking certain cards. Now, I am really going to make some plays in this, okay? And you're going to probably be like, dude, what are you doing? But if I sense weakness, I'm just going to go for it, man. I'm not even going to hesitate. I would say it probably takes me a fourth of a second to kind of figure out if I think somebody's bluffing or they're weak. It's very quick, guys. And if I'm blocking certain cards and maybe there's a flush draw out there, they're trying to represent something, yeah, man, that's something I also think about. And really the other thing too, because we're all going to deal with this as well, man, kind of comes with age, but not getting emotional, because I think that when you get really good at this, you're able to take losses and kind of just move on within a couple of minutes. It's not something you're going to dwell on. And it's different for everybody, but you just get better at it. This is all a progression. The more you're working at this stuff, the better you're just going to get at it naturally, just like anything. Your skill sets are going to get better, but there is more nuance to this. Another thing too about playing this game for so long, it does help to be in a community because, let's be honest, man, this can all be pretty isolating, yeah, I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you guys. All right, anyways, we are just really going to be getting into the mix here, but, sit back. You can comment if you want below. I'll get back to you. It might take me a bit of time, but we do have some good stuff, and you are going to want to stick around to the end, man. I'll tell you guys that much because it's going to get interesting here. Plus, I like to go over my thought process. I think it probably will help you guys out maybe the next time you're playing. Maybe you're just in a spot and you're, maybe you just really listen to one of the tips I'm going over here, and it just kind of yeah, gets to you and you think about things a little bit more. All right, here we had pocket fives. We are in the small blind here. I'm just going to make a call. I think player 2 is going to raise it up. No reason to re-raise this, and I usually never do. Oh, I'm sorry, he just limped. What's up with the limp? I am going to raise this up, man. We can't be limping now. We cannot be limping, no, sir. All right, we're going to kick it out to the 1250 piece. We got player 5 and player 2 are both going to make the call here. And, of course, that 4 couldn't have been a 5, man. Come on. Come on, man. All right, so I checked it. Turn card wasn't very good. I mean, we do have a flush draw out there to the heart, but honestly, yeah. And the way this one kind of played out, it's just check, and maybe we take it down to showdown, but we didn't. Player 2 is going to have a pair of 8s right there, so you couldn't really see it. Kind of covered it up, but it is what it is. All right, so 2-3 suited. It's so funny because I play really all the suited connectors, but this one I usually just muck. But I decided to see a flop with it. Okay, I mean, why not, right? Not a good flop. I mean, we do have some runner possibilities, but I mean, we're I mean, come on, I'm pushing it saying that, right? I mean, come on, look at this flop. Player 6 is going to continue, and I decided to come along. I don't really know why here. I mean, I was thinking maybe we get something on the turn. Maybe I could eventually bluff at this, but, now with player 5 in here and, player 6, we're kind of just in a check fold now. So we kind of just wasted a little bit here, but, it is what it is. I'm definitely not thinking about bluffing at this now. Doesn't To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So somebody's got a jack here, they're good. You got a heart draw out there, which is possible as well. Player 6 is taking his time to think about what to do here. But yeah, I mean, jack on the river too, like, one of these guys could have a jack, it's possible. Maybe player 5 does. A part of me was thinking about bluffing at this, but I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I think we just got to check this, because it's possible somebody does have a jack here and the other person might have been on like a flush draw or bluffing. Player 5 went for it right there. I got to think player 5 had it. I don't really think you're going to bluff at that, But you never know, I guess. All right, queen 9 suited. Check this one out, man. Check this one out. Now, this is a situation where, kind of coming back to some of my tips, right? If I think somebody might be weak or, you know what I mean, like, I'm going to go for it. And this was kind of one of those iffy spots, but you have to make these decisions when you're playing. And queen 9 suited is definitely like a hand that I'm going to see a flop with for sure. Okay, I'm going to raise this up if player 3 doesn't. Player 3, I believe, is going to just go to the 2250 piece, so pretty large sizing. Now, we could put player 3 on a lot of like ace-king, ace-queen type of things. I mean, sure, maybe some mid-pocket pairs as well. But this flop was good, man. It was good. We got the spade draw. Him having a spade draw is going to be less likely here. I expect him to continue pretty large here. And he didn't go like really big, but I don't know. I just made the play I went with here, and it was just to come over the top, which is very aggressive, but at the same time, our play looks really strong. And, let's see what the turn card would have been if we made a difference. And it would have been a 7, which would have been a bad card, but whatever, I went with it. And it didn't feel like he had an overpair either because he went so small on that flop. If you have an overpair, you're going to go pretty large continuing there. You're not going to go like that small. So that was another thing I picked up on right away as well. All right, so we're going to kick it up to 1250 piece. We got the queens. We got pocket queens, y'all. Let's do it. Player 1, I think, is just going to call this back over to player 2. And we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, no, you just called. All right, and a pretty safe flop for queens, okay? I mean, you got a spade draw. We don't have any spades. So like I said, these are things I'm always thinking about, right? What am I blocking? What don't I have kind of thing. Player 1 let out here, which was very strange. I think maybe you do that sometimes with a top pair or a flush draw. Typically, if you have a set here, you don't usually lead out. You're going to slow play it, hoping somebody else raises. So I'm putting player 1 on having top pair or a flush draw. Those are the two. So that's why I made this play. If he calls with top pair here, like ace-9 or something, I do see that happening every once in a while. If he has a flush draw, I could see him calling as well sometimes. It depends on how strong it is. See what the turn card would have been. A king, which actually would have been a bad card. So I don't mind our play there either. And like I said, you might be looking at this like, what are you doing, man? But, like I said, you got to protect, and you got to try and figure out what somebody might have or why would he lead out right there. And that's exactly what I was thinking. You're usually not leading out in this game with a set. You're going to try and slow play it, hoping somebody else, raises 4. It just didn't make sense, right? So anyways, all right, 6-10. We ain't playing no 6-10, no sir. No sir, okay? We ain't playing this. If I would have been on the button, sure, maybe. But yeah, I hope you guys are still with me because we're really just getting warmed up here. And I'll tell you what, man, you're not going to want to miss what's coming, okay? You're not going to want to miss it. All right, queen 7 suited. We got spades again here. Now, not as good as having a queen 9 suited. Typically doesn't flop as good. you know, for straights and things like that. But, you know, the hand's good enough to make a call here, which is what we're going to do. All right. And we hit top pair here. Kicker's not very good. There's also a flush draw out there. And this was kind of tricky, the turn. A 4, it's a diamond though. I would have preferred it to be like not a diamond, you know, because we would have had, going to the river here, we would have had a, you know, like a 6 to a straight, maybe some possible 2 pairs we could go for. When player 5 went for it again right here, especially like as quickly as he did, it felt like he was pretty strong. So I let it go. River card would have been a king. So I think we made a good fold there, even though it was kind of like a tough one, you know, a tough pill to swallow, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is, man. We ended up letting it go. And I think it was the right play. All right, ace 3, offsuit, small blind, check fold, check fold. We're not doing anything else here, guys. It's just a little check fold, you know. But we were in the small blind, so, you know, I figured why not, right? What else can I say? Okay, check fold. It is what it is, y'all. All right, so here we go, man. Ace 2 suited. Let's do it. Ace 2 suited, all right? All right, so gonna open here. If we get re-raise, it's totally fine. I'm gonna make a call and we'll take it post-flop and try to make a move, right? All right, player 6, I think, is gonna re-raise it, which is one of the disadvantages to raising like first or second to act with like a low ace suited, but at the same time, it's all good. Like it is what it is. So player 6 kicked it up to the 60 piece. We're gonna make this call, and let's see if we can get some clubs out there, man. Let's see if we can. And of course, we did it. Now check this out, and I think you guys will think this is interesting. So, you know, I'm always expecting somebody to continue after, you know, doing what they just did there on the re-raise, but I'm going to apply a little pressure here with absolutely nothing. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to feel this guy out a little bit. And, you know, if he doesn't have a heart, he's probably just going to let this go a lot of the time. I think this kind of looks sneaky strong too. So check this out. Like I said, I was expecting him to continue here with whatever. And instead of folding or just calling, because calling doesn't really make sense, I went for a min raise. So check this out. The min raise looks strong, okay? Especially if he doesn't have a heart. All right, I think it looks, and it worked. I mean, it absolutely worked right there. So got a little creative there where we missed the flop, and yeah, I think you guys might like that a little bit right there. Thought it was interesting, okay? We got queens again. It's kind of weird to get queens twice, especially like this early on, but I'm not complaining. I'll take it again here. All right, we're gonna kick it up here to the 1250 piece. And like I said, I hope you guys are still sticking with me because we're still just getting warmed up here, you know. All right, player 5, player 1. I think he's gonna raise it. Let's see. Let's see what he did here. Yeah, he did. We have a couple options. We could just call or we could re-raise. Now, he is in the big blind, which I'm thinking about too. He might just be trying to steal blinds, or maybe he's got a decent hand to do this with. But we got pocket queen, so I just came over the top here. And he folded it, so, you know. And that's just one of those things too, you know. You got to be thinking like that. You know, we're on the button. He's probably thinking like we're opening kind of wide. We actually had a good hand there, though, so it kind of is what it is. All right, so 6-7 suited, man. Hope y'all are ready for this one, man, because I am. Now, I think we've been playing pretty decent so far, making some plays, making some moves, things like that. And then we get the 6-7 suited, man. You know we're going to open here, 1250 piece. It's going to come back around to, I think, player 1 again here. Let's see if it was player 1. If we get re-raised here, though, it's totally fine. I'm going to, you know, make a call. It's fine, right? And the nice thing, too, like, the better you get at this, like, you could start putting people on hands. Like, okay, you're probably re-raising with, like, ace-king, ace-queen suited, mid-pocket pairs. So, you know, you can kind of navigate the flop that way if you're going to make a call. Plus, we're pretty deep in this game anyways, so here we go. Player 1, I think, is going to be the dude to re-raise here. Let me see. Was player 1 or player 2? Okay, yeah, no, player 1 kicked it up, 55 piece. We are just going to make a call here and see if we can get something going, man. Let's flop a straight or something, right? But pretty quickly I made the call here and I was like, oh yes sir, we hit trips right here, you know. Thank you for giving us trips right here, you know. And this is just a slow play, you know. We're really hoping this guy's got something now, right? Like ace queen, pocket kings, ace, I mean anything, right? That's what we're hoping for. You know, here we go. He's going to continue here. Like I said, it's just a smooth call for me at this point. There's no reason to do anything else. We're just going to slow play this. And it's going to get interesting, right? All right, turn card, I'm just hoping for it to be a brick, which it is. A 10 is a really good card, and there's no spade that got there, which is good. If this guy has, once again, a hand like ace queen or any overpair that beats queens, he's in trouble, and he's never getting away here. Let's be honest, guys. Like, he's never getting away. So here we go. This is where we got to make things a little bit interesting. So he's going to kick it up to the 94 piece, back over to us. He's kind of committing himself, so he's got to have something good here. So once again, kind of back to ace, queen, kings, I guess. But, you know, this is what we're going to do. I don't think he's folding here either at this point at all. And he's not going to. It's going to be a pretty easy call for him once you see what he has. Yeah, man, and he's in trouble for sure, man. So 6-7, taking it down, guys. You know, I'll tell you what, felt pretty good about that one. Anyways, to kind of bring this all home, I hope you enjoyed some of the spots here. There is a lot of nuance to this. Like, I mean, I did point out some tips that you could start considering in your own game, but, you know, I think it's definitely worth getting in the community. You could talk with me. Like I said, other Havel members will get you, you know, moving up, playing better, all that good stuff. Pin comment. If you made it to the end here, you know, tap the like, subscribe, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.